Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The drama explodes with breathtaking force as the latest chapter of The Bold and the Beautiful begins, sending shockwaves through everyone at Forrester Creations. What was expected to be an ordinary day quickly transforms into a moment that no one saw coming as the company gathers around to watch a live stream that changes everything. Instead of celebrating Hope Logan's long-awaited return from her leave of absence and the relaunch of Hope for the future, the Forrester family is blindsided by an announcement that leaves them speechless. Before their eyes, Hope unveils a stunning new alliance with Logan, revealing that she has abandoned the plans everyone believed she was committed to. The revelation lands like a devastating betrayal, and the silence that follows is almost as powerful as the announcement itself. In a matter of moments, years of trust, loyalty, and family ties are thrown into question, setting the stage for one of the most emotionally explosive confrontations the fashion world has ever witnessed. No one feels that betrayal more intensely than Steffi Forrester Finnegan, whose anger erupts almost immediately after the shocking news breaks. She cannot believe that Hope has secretly orchestrated such a massive move, while everyone at Forrester Creations was expecting her to return to the company she had always called home. Every promise that had been made now feels meaningless, and every expectation has been shattered beyond repair. The deeper Steffi thinks about what has happened, the more furious she becomes, convinced that Hope deliberately deceived the entire Forrester family until the perfect moment arrived to reveal her stunning new partnership. What should have been a triumphant return has instead become an act of betrayal in Steffi's eyes, and there is little doubt that her outrage will ignite fierce confrontations that could permanently alter relationships throughout the family. As emotions continue to boil over, it becomes painfully clear that forgiveness will not come easily, if it comes at all. Brooke Logan Spencer is equally devastated by the announcement, though her reaction is fueled by a complicated mix of heartbreak, disappointment, and frustration. While she cannot hide her anger toward Hope's shocking decision, Brooke refuses to place all the blame on her daughter alone. In her mind, several people helped make this stunning betrayal possible, and she is determined to hold each of them accountable. Katie Logan Spencer immediately becomes one of Brooke's primary targets because she played a direct role in recruiting Hope into this bold new venture. Brooke also directs her fury toward Bill Spencer, whose financial backing has made the entire operation possible and transformed what might have been an impossible dream into a very real threat. As Brooke pieces together the truth, she realizes just how much planning took place behind her back, leaving her to wonder how those closest to her managed to keep such an enormous secret hidden until now. The emotional wounds cut even deeper, because this betrayal comes not from strangers, but from members of her own family. Throughout Forrester Creations, the atmosphere becomes unbearably tense as the ripple effects of Hope's decision spread through every corner of the company. Eric Forrester struggles to process the astonishing turn of events, while Ridge Forrester finds himself wrestling with disbelief and growing concern over what this means for the future of the family business. Zende Forrester Dominguez, Electra Forrester, and everyone else inside the building remain visibly shaken as the reality of Hope's announcement begins to sink in. Conversations are filled with confusion, disbelief, and unanswered questions as everyone tries to understand how such a dramatic shift could have happened without anyone discovering the truth sooner. The once confident atmosphere inside the legendary fashion house is replaced by uncertainty and emotional chaos, as employees and family members alike realize they are witnessing a defining moment in the company's history. Every face reflects the same unsettling realization that nothing will ever be quite the same again. Meanwhile, away from the growing storm at Forrester Creations, Hope experiences an entirely different emotional landscape. Standing beside Katie, She celebrates the overwhelming success of her spectacular fashion show, basking in the excitement of a dream that has finally become reality. Cameras flash from every direction, reporters crowd around with eager questions, and the fashion world turns its attention toward the woman who has just made the boldest move of her career. Yet, beneath the smiles and celebration, Hope cannot completely escape the anxiety building inside her. The excitement of success is constantly interrupted by the knowledge that difficult questions are coming, and she knows there is no graceful way to avoid them. Before long, members of the media begin asking about Brooke's involvement, forcing Hope into the uncomfortable position of admitting that her own mother had no idea this dramatic change was taking place. It is an awkward confession that exposes just how deeply the secrecy ran and confirms that Brooke was completely left out of one of the biggest decisions of Hope's life. Now that the truth is finally out in the open, Brooke fully understands the extent of what happened behind closed doors. Hope secretly reached an agreement with Katie, and together they worked alongside Deacon Sharp to create an entirely new fashion line for Logan, without Brooke's knowledge or approval. Every hidden meeting, every quiet conversation, and every carefully protected secret has now come to light, leaving Brooke feeling blindsided by the people she trusted most. For Hope, the celebration begins to lose some of its shine as the reality of what awaits her becomes impossible to ignore. She knows that sooner rather than later, she will have to stand face to face with Brooke and answer for every decision she made. That unavoidable confrontation hangs over her like a gathering storm, filling her with a sense of dread that grows stronger with every passing moment. No matter how successful the fashion show has been, Hope understands that her greatest emotional challenge is still waiting just around the corner. As the excitement fades and the consequences settle in, Hope finds herself caught between two powerful emotions that refuse to coexist peacefully. Part of her cannot help but feel proud that the fashion world is finally recognizing her talent, determination, and courage to build something entirely new. After years of struggling to define her own path, she has finally captured the attention she always hoped to earn. Yet another part of her is painfully aware of the heavy price that accompanied this achievement. She knows she has committed an act that many will see as an unforgivable betrayal, and no amount of professional success can erase the damage inflicted upon the people she loves. The choices have already been made, the announcement has already been delivered, and there is simply no way to turn back time. Hope can only move forward now, carrying both the triumph of her success and the burden of the heartbreak she has caused. As emotions continue to spiral, Liam Spencer steps forward in an effort to provide Hope with the reassurance she desperately needs. Seeing the uncertainty written across her face, he tries to convince her that Brooke's anger will not last forever and that, in time, a mother's love will ultimately overcome even this painful betrayal. Liam believes that forgiveness is still possible, no matter how impossible it may seem in this moment. But Hope struggles to share his confidence, especially now that the shocking news has spread across the fashion world and sent waves of disbelief through everyone connected to Forrester Creations. The public revelation has transformed a private family conflict into a spectacle that everyone is talking about, making reconciliation feel far more difficult than either of them imagined. As Monday's emotionally charged episode comes to a close, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The battle lines have been drawn, relationships have been tested, and the consequences of Hope's stunning decision are only beginning to unfold. The celebrations may have marked the birth of a new fashion empire, but they have also ignited a family war whose emotional scars could last for years to come. It was supposed to be the beginning of an exciting new chapter, a moment where ambition, creativity, and bold vision would finally receive the recognition they deserved. Instead, Hope finds herself standing at the center of a storm that continues to grow with every passing hour. The applause from the fashion show still echoes in her ears, and the excitement surrounding Logan's dramatic debut refuses to fade. Yet those triumphant moments are now overshadowed by an overwhelming sense of guilt. Every congratulatory handshake and every glowing compliment from the press reminds her that someone very important was left completely in the dark. The success she worked so hard to achieve has come with consequences she can no longer ignore, and the emotional weight of those consequences begins settling heavily on her shoulders. For the first time since unveiling her stunning new venture, Hope realizes that victory can sometimes feel painfully complicated. As reporters continue circling around her, eager for every detail behind the shocking announcement, Hope does everything she can to maintain her composure. The cameras capture her confident smile, but beneath that carefully controlled expression, her emotions remain anything but steady. Questions about the future of Logan, her partnership with Katie, and the role Deacon Sharp played in bringing the new fashion line to life keep pouring in from every direction. Then comes the one question she knew was unavoidable, the question about Brooke. In that instant, the atmosphere shifts, and Hope can no longer hide behind polished answers or carefully rehearsed statements. She quietly acknowledges that Brooke had no knowledge of the secret deal before the public announcement, a confession that only deepens the growing controversy surrounding her decision and confirms just how carefully this entire plan had been concealed. Back at Forrester Creations, the emotional damage continues spreading through every office, hallway, and design room. What began as simple disbelief gradually transforms into fierce discussions about loyalty, family, and the future of the company itself. Ridge struggles to understand how Hope managed to keep such an enormous secret while continuing to maintain everyone's trust. Eric reflects on the painful reality that the family has endured countless battles over the years, yet this latest betrayal feels uniquely personal because it strikes directly at the heart of everything Forrester Creations has stood for. Zende and Elektra watch the growing conflict unfold with concern, recognizing that the damage extends far beyond business competition. It is no longer just about fashion houses or corporate rivalries. It has become a deeply emotional family crisis where trust has been fractured, alliances have shifted, and every relationship now hangs in the balance. Steffi's anger refuses to cool as the reality of Hope's actions becomes even clearer. The more she reflects on everything that has happened, the more convinced she becomes that this was never a spontaneous decision, but a carefully calculated move that unfolded behind everyone's backs. Every hidden meeting and every silent conversation now feels like another layer of deception. To Steffi, Hope did far more than launch a competing fashion line. She shattered the confidence that the Forrester family placed in her and deliberately chose a path that would leave lasting scars. That sense of betrayal only strengthens her determination to protect her family's company from whatever challenges may lie ahead. In her eyes, this conflict has become deeply personal, and she has no intention of allowing Hope's decision to go unanswered. Meanwhile, Brooke struggles to contain the whirlwind of emotions raging inside her heart. As the full picture comes into focus, she realizes just how many pieces of the puzzle had been hidden from her until the very last moment. Learning that Katie played such a significant role in recruiting Hope leaves Brooke feeling wounded not only as a mother, but also as a sister. Bill's financial support adds another painful layer to the betrayal, making it impossible for Brooke to ignore how many people actively participated in building this new venture without ever giving her the opportunity to understand or object. She cannot shake the painful thought that the people closest to her chose secrecy over honesty, and that realization hurts far more than any business rivalry ever could. Every passing moment fuels her determination to confront Hope directly and demand the answers she believes she deserves. For Hope, however, the countdown toward that inevitable confrontation becomes impossible to escape. Even as celebrations continue around her, she knows they cannot last forever. She imagines the disappointment in Brooke's eyes, the heartbreak in her voice, and the difficult conversation that waits just beyond the horizon. Although she believes in the future she is trying to build, she also understands that dreams achieved through painful choices often leave emotional wounds behind. There is no simple explanation that can erase Brooke's pain or undo the shock that has already rippled through the family. Hope accepts that she will eventually have to face the consequences of every decision she made, regardless of how justified those choices may have seemed at the time. Through it all, Liam refuses to abandon hope during one of the most difficult moments of her life. He sees the conflict unfolding inside her, the pride she feels over creating something extraordinary, battling against the guilt that refuses to let her celebrate without reservation. Hoping to ease her fears, Liam gently reminds her that Brooke's love for her daughter has survived countless hardships before. He believes that while Brooke's anger may burn fiercely today, time has a way of softening even the deepest emotional wounds. But Hope finds it difficult to believe that forgiveness will come so easily now that the entire world has witnessed her stunning announcement. With the shocking news spreading rapidly and sending emotional shockwaves through both the Logan and Forrester families, she fears this betrayal may have changed everything forever, leaving every relationship facing an uncertain future that no one can yet predict.